Hi everyone, this is Lara Hammock from the Marble Jar channel, and in today's video, I'll show you how I create automatic photo slideshows for special occasions to play on my TV. So I'm a big fan of using the largest screen in my house, our TV, as a digital picture frame. So I did a video a little while back about how to turn your TV and your computer into digital picture frames using Google Photos. So that describes the process of getting all of my thousands of digital photos to scroll randomly on my TV and my computer. But sometimes there's a special occasion where I just want a certain group of photos to play in an automatic slideshow. Usually these are commemorative events. Here are some examples. We all contributed photos for a slideshow that played during my grandma's 90th birthday party. My brother-in-law and sister-in-law moved across the country, and I pulled all the photos from our weekly get-togethers with them and their children for 11 years, and I played these on a loop during our last weekly pizza night before they moved. Or we throw a big dance party every year, and if there isn't a big sporting event going on, I like to automate a slideshow of previous photos from that party to play on the TV in a continuous loop. So these are just a couple of examples, but there are lots of times each year that I find myself pulling one of these together. These slideshows are not meant for everyone to just sit down and watch, but rather to play in the background as folks are mingling, with someone occasionally saying, "Hey, remember that day, event, or trip?" It takes everyone on this meandering walk down memory lane without it being like a forced death march. So people sincerely love it. There are two tricks to this. Number one, being able to cull through your photos and find the right ones quickly. And number two, mastering the technology to make it happen without too much effort. So first, finding the photos. I use Google Photos, and it is my one and my only trick to being able to find photos quickly without literally having to look through individually thousands of photos. Google Photos does facial recognition, and it allows you to assign a name to a face. So once it's recognized the face for the first time, Google Photos automatically assigns the same name to that face every time a photo is added. It's like magic. So let's say I'm doing a slideshow for my grandma who just turned 96. I could go through each year looking for photos, trying to remember the occasions when I might have taken pictures of her, or I could just search for her name, Alice Wimberly, and every photo that I've ever taken of her over the years just comes right up. Now I can add all of these to an album by selecting each one, clicking on the plus sign, and choosing to create a new album. Okay, so let's say I have all of the photos stored in an album that I want to play on my TV in an automatic slideshow. Technology. So I started off by trying to use the same system that I use now for randomly playing all of my photos on my TV. Somehow this process is glitchy. So I was getting random photos thrown in, and the changes that I was making weren't happening quickly or sometimes at all. So I'm going to share the process that I came up with. It's not perfect, but it's also not bad. And it allows you to share the final product with everyone afterwards. So I wanted to use Chromecast to throw the photos up to the TV. So Chromecast is a $35 dongle that allows you to cast things from the Chrome browser on your computer to your TV. I also decided to use Google Sheets, which is Google's cloud-based slideshow service. It's analogous to Microsoft PowerPoint. So first I needed to get all the photos into Google Slides, one photo per slide. I couldn't find a way to do this in bulk from within Google Slides without piling all the photos on top of each other on one slide. And I really wanted to find a way to do this automatically, since some of my albums have hundreds of photos and pulling in one photo at a time would take forever. So thankfully I found this add-on called Photo Slideshow, which does exactly what I wanted. If you Google Photo Slideshow add-on, it's the first real result that comes up. Clicking on the free button launches Google Slides and takes you through a permission process to add it. So once you finish, it's going to appear under the add-on menu. Okay, so make sure you have all of your photos in an album on Google Photos. Now click on Add-ons, Google Slideshow, and then Import from Google Photos album. You're going to find your album, select it, and then hit Select, and it will import all the photos and put them on different slides. Fix. So I will say that some of the photos import a little strange, so it may require some cleaning up. For example, this photo got cropped when it was imported, but I just have to double click on it and change the cropping in order to fix it. order. So now you can arrange these slides how you want them presented. If you want them in a random order, you can search for another add-on called Slide Randomizer, which shuffles them randomly. Otherwise, you can hit this button down here to display them in grid view and then drag and drop them into the order that you want. Transition. So one other stylistic thing before we start the show, you can change the transitions to something a little fancier. Right now the photos are going to switch without any transition at all, but by selecting transition, you can choose one of these transitions from the drop-down list. You can also choose how fast you want the animation to occur and then apply it to every slide. Present. Okay, so let's see how this looks. Hit present up here and then hit the play button. Okay, so that looks pretty good. So now you will note that there is no casting icon up here to throw this up to a TV. So that's kind of strange in a Google app, right? This is not at all obvious to me, but in order to cast this, first we have to publish to web. So you're going to choose File, then Publish to the web, and here's where I'm going to choose how long to stay on each slide, whether to start the slideshow immediately, and to play it on a loop. 3 seconds per slide is fine, and I check both of these and then hit publish. So go ahead and copy this URL by hitting Control-C. If you want to make any changes to these options, you will need to hit this button down here that says stop publishing, and you'll do this process again. Cast. Okay, so now go into a new tab, paste in the URL that you copied, and hit enter. The slideshow immediately starts to play since that's what we selected. And since it's playing in a browser, I can use Chrome's cast option to throw this up to my TV. So go to more options, cast, and then choose the Chromecast device that you want to send it to. And it should play on whatever TV that Chromecast is attached to. So this is how this looks on my TV. So there are a couple of reasons that I really like this process. Number one, it doesn't mess up my previous settings that make my TV into a constant random slideshow for all of my photos. And number two, I can use the sharing settings in Google Slides or in Google Photos to share these photos or the slideshow with anyone who might be interested. So I can tell you right now, if your friends and your family or anything like mine, these randomized TV slideshows will be a giant hit. But let me know what you think. Comments are always appreciated, and thanks for watching.